The mistake we made was, I think I made, was not getting our allies to acknowledge that the Democrats did this. So, for example, build a new billion-dollar bridge over a river. We'll call it the Democratic Bridge, figuratively speaking. Talk about who put it together. Let people know that this was something the Democrats did.
Wait a minute.
We know that the Democrats caused inflation. We know that the Democrats are funding Ukraine. We know that the Democrats are letting in millions of migrants and they want this to happen. We know that the Democrats are controlling the media so that we don't vote for Trump because he's a threat to democracy and he's this and that. Oh, we know a lot of what the Democrats have done the last 4 years. No. We know what the Democrats have done. You want us to see the things that you've done right. Earth to Joe. We're still waiting to see what you have done right as far as your administration. I mean, this is a 4-year nightmare.
Sensational.
This is a 4-year nightmare that we're in. What? Where everything that happens in this nightmare is an absolute disaster. Nothing has been good. You have turned Democrats into Trump voting folks. People that said I would never vote for him. They had so many interviews of him that they voted for him because of you. You were that bad of a candidate. You guys messed up that bad that people were like, I'm not voting for them again. Oh yeah, we know. Trust me. Common sense folks know Democrats did some damage.
Over a river. We'll call it the Democratic Bridge, figuratively speaking. Talk about who put it together. Let people know that this was something the Democrats did. I almost spent too much time on the policy, not enough time on the politics.
And new this morning, the New York Times reporting on a private and reportedly emotional meeting between Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer and President Biden that happened on July 13th. That was a little over 2 weeks after Biden's disastrous debate performance. The Times reporting that Schumer told the president, quote, "If you run and you lose to Trump and we lose the Senate and we don't get back the House, that 50 years of amazing, beautiful work goes out the window," Mr. Schumer said. But worse, you go down in American history as one of the darkest figures. And he would end with a directive.
Can I stop it right here? And can I actually acknowledge the fact that Chuck Schumer was probably right about this? You could go down in history as one of the darkest figures. I didn't even really catch that when I watched the first time, but I think that Chuck Schumer was actually right about this. Because Joe Biden's legacy, when this is all said and done, will not be good. When people can, stop living in like every week there's a new story and they say, hey, what do you remember about Joe Biden's presidency? It's going to be like Bush. When people talk about Bush, they go, oh, Bush is horrible. Real folks, not these fake people writing these history books. I think that Joe Biden will go down as one of the darkest and one of the worst presidents in our lifetime. He's going to be in the top 5 to top 10 of worst presidents in history. And the folks that voted for him and that were behind him, are probably going to see how bad it was as years to come. This man has ruined America to the point where they had to force him out of his own party. Chuck Schumer was the man that threw the final blow at Joe Biden, who said, you need to leave. And here's why. This is what look what Chuck Schumer did.
If I were you, Mr. Schumer said, I wouldn't run. And I'm urging you not to run. Joining us now is Democratic Senator Ron Wyden of Oregon. He is the ranking member on the Senate Finance Committee and also the author of the new book, It Takes Chutzpah, How to Fight Fearlessly for Progressive Change. Senator, good morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me back.
Congratulations on the book. I do want to start with this new bombshell at New York Times reporting and a little bit more of what they put into their story. It was July 13th, 2024, a humid summer afternoon just before 4. Mr. Schumer, the Democratic leader of the Senate, was about to make a blunt case to Mr. Biden that he needed to drop his bid for a second term. If there were a secret ballot among Democratic senators, Mr. Schumer would tell the president no more than 5 would say he should continue running. What is your reaction to this? And did you feel at this time that the president should have stopped his bid?
Well, first of all, Chuck Schumer and Joe Biden have a long relationship. Chuck was a credible and persuasive connection because they go back to the years working on Judiciary Committee issues. That was a real common bond for them. So I think that was the right move for Senate Democrats to reach out through Senator Schumer. I will tell you, and I thought a lot about this too. I'm having town hall meetings this weekend at home. I've had 1,100 of them. And I've said to my staff, the day that I can't do these open to all town hall meetings, stand there, take unscripted questions for an hour and a half, I've got to do something else. And clearly that was part of this. I think that the White House hadn't had Joe Biden out there doing those kinds of sessions, and we saw the consequences.
Did you feel at the time when Biden was still running for president, before that debate performance, that he was up to the job? Did you have any concerns ahead of time?
During the first days of the term, we worked very closely together, and he was on the program. You know, I wrote the biggest investment in fighting climate change in American history. It's in the book, Taking the Long Game. President Biden was with us every single step of the way. We said we're going to reward people who reduce carbon. We're going to have an effort to lower energy prices. It stood together. He was all in. But clearly, after that big package went through in the first couple of years, I think he was not out on the trail as much, not in part of those spontaneous discussions, and it showed.
Do you blame him for Democrats losing the White House? Do you blame his decision to run for re-election?
Look, this was very personal, and everybody understood it. Obviously, it would have been better if he had made the judgment earlier, because on certain kinds of issues, like food prices, for example, there was discussion about what to talk about. I told everybody the focus has to be on those issues where the second word is bill. It might be medical bill, it might be gas bill, it might be rent bill. That's what people are talking about. We're dealing with inflation. That message got lost.
But they told us that inflation was transitory, right? They told us that this was not a real thing. That's what the Democrats told us.
Had this meeting, was this done with the knowledge of your colleagues and the support
Generally,
of your colleagues?
I mean, certainly Senator Schumer talks to all of us. The big joke is he knows all of our phone numbers by heart. So yes, there was no question that he was going to do this, that he was the person to do it. Those years of working together, particularly on judicial issues and the Judiciary Committees, made him a good fit for it.
And you were supportive of it?
Yes.
The president-elect is seeing more positive ratings heading into his second inauguration than he did the first time around. According to a new CNN poll, 46% of Americans view...
All right, well, we already know, Trump is doing what he's supposed to do. Joe Biden's approval rating is in the dump. Isn't it? I think it's worse than isn't his approval rating worse than when he took office or something like that? It's pretty bad. But anyways, so Chuck Schumer is the guy behind the final blow to Joe Biden getting kicked out of the race. And guys, don't be surprised if you start to hear more and more about this debacle, the debate debacle of what really happened between Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and the whole Democratic Party. Because there's going to be more and more information that comes out because they're not in the White House, and you're going to see the entire bridge, like he wants to talk about, bridge is going to collapse. And everyone's just going to be telling their stories because they're probably not going to have any purpose anymore, right? And some people are going to want to feed for that attention. I won't be surprised when stories come out about cringe Jean-Pierre and everything that she was doing and all the lies that she was telling. And she probably will come out on her own and start saying, I was forced to lie about this and that. I wouldn't be surprised about none of this stuff that comes out from people under the Biden administration when they start leaking out stories. Okay. We know that, first of all, Joe Biden was pushed out by his party. We know that. The media wanted to try to tell us that he got COVID and he just didn't feel up to the task, right? This entire freaking election was a joke. You understand me? It was a joke. And we seen and clear and very, very clearly that we were being lied to. They were trying to say Joe Biden was sick. He knew he was going to drop out But then we get stories about Nancy Pelosi and then Chuck Schumer and then Obama not wanting an open primary. It was so many stories. It was like, dude, we obviously know that the media and the Democrats and the Diddycrats are lying to us right to our face. We knew that. But they wanted to feed us something. And you know what's sad about all of this is that there's still some people out there that believe these lies that they have told. They believe these lies that they have told. They're still running on these lies that have been told. Still. So I'm just glad that this is all over, right? I'm glad that Trump won the election, right? I'm glad that he's going to be in office on Monday. I just want him to get in the office, man. I just, I get all the inauguration celebrations and all that stuff, man. I just want Trump to get in office and get to work. That's just me. I like to celebrate myself even when I close a house or close a transaction. But I like to get right back to work. You know what I'm saying? So I want Trump to just get to work, start signing these bills, because we need it. We need it. We are literally, as America, as an image of America, we are suffering. And we know what we need to do to get better, but we can't do anything until this stupid doctor gets out of our office because we know he's just trying to medicate us to death. But we know that we could do this on our own. We just need the right guidance, the right doctor, and that's not the right doctor. So Order says that currently he has a 55.8 disapproval rating. Joe Biden is a joke. He's a joke. He's an entire joke. We've probably seen this man in the media within the last week and a half than we've seen him all year or all last year. It's just terrible, man.
Sensational.
So that's that one. I just wanted to talk about that real quick because, again, I said this before that, stories are going to leak out about what was really happening and all that.